Hi guys, welcome to Two Brother Vlogs. My name is Rohit.
Myself, Kumar. How are you guys doing?
Thank you again for choosing our channel here today. And today's video is a continuation of the first vlog which we have created regarding pilot training. From today's vlogs, we are going to go in depth into a little more detail on how to go about the process of selecting a flight school.
Yes, so we'll be selecting every single topic of discussion as promised in the last video.
And
so today the discussion topic is going to be about how to start with your medical process and
also your educational requirements in detail.
Very important.
We've got a few questions in the comments in the earlier vlog requesting about a couple of doubts which people have been having, and we'll try and give you an insight about it. And also we'll give you a little more detail about the medical examinations which are being conducted in the course of your pilot training and how to go about it.
Yes, so there are two kinds of medical, Rohit. One is class 1 and class 2 medical. You require only class 1 for your CPL, but you still need to go and do your class 2 medical.
Yes, so your class 2 medicals will actually are valid for 2 years. When you first get it done, it is valid for a period of 24 months from the date it has been conducted. And a class 2 medical is important because through your class 2 medical, you will be given a file number, which is your unique identity number for the rest of your aviation career.
With the DGCA, yes.
So till the time you are in aviation, you will be requiring that flight number, whether it is to apply for your licenses or whether it is to apply for your class 1 medical initial or for your renewal every year as well.
So now the question would be arising, where can you do this class 2 medical? Now the class 2 medical can be done by any of the private class 1 medical examiners. There are 25 of them. You can see the list on the DGCA website.
Link for all these doctors will be in the description below, so that it gets a little easier for you to contact them. Whichever is the doctor closest to you, you can actually call them up, take an appointment.
Yeah, there are email addresses and the phone number given.
Yeah, so you can just directly get in touch with them, one of these 25 doctors, whichever is closest to you. Get in touch with them, go ahead and request for a class 2 medical date. And the doctors will ask you to do a couple of medical examinations done.
Mind you, blood and the urine samples to be done.
Yeah, and these tests have to be done from an NABL approved laboratory. All these major hospitals are NABL. A lot of these diagnostic centers are also NABL approved. So just make sure that whichever medical center you're going for your these tests are approved by NABL laboratory.
I'm sure the medical examiner, the doctor, would guide you which would be the best laboratory, where probably they might have a tie-up, so it would be a smooth, easy process. So just keep that in mind, and what all the tests which would be required, those tests will be told by the doctors. Usually it's just a urine and blood sample at class 2 level. Yeah. And once you go and meet them, they would do their own physical examination, which needs to be done.
And your eye test, and basically the requirement again is 6x6 vision. It can be with your corrective classes.
Yes. And
also the requirement, let's say you have done your LASIK surgery, there's a cool down period of 6 months before you can apply for your class 2 medical examination.
So those nuances would be discussed, of course, by the doctor, and he will be able to give you much detailed answer for the same. Yeah. So once this class 2 medical is done, he would be sending your files to DGCA.
True.
And once those files goes to DGCA, it will take some time to get it processed, usually about a month's or time. And once that is done, you get a class 2 medical.
Yeah. So whichever address you have registered with the doctor, the class 2 medical certificate will come to your house address. So with that address, you'll have your file number on it. With the file number, you can apply for your class 1 medical examination.
Yes, so even in the class 1 medical, it is important to point it out over here that there are 7 approved centers for an initial class 1 medical. 5 of them are of the Air Force and 2 of them are the private, one in Mumbai and one in Chennai. Again, same on the link which we are going to put in the description for you would contain the details of those hospitals and the Air Force stations with their phone numbers and contact number, how to book an appointment for that.
So booking an appointment is either through email or telephone.
Yes.
So once your file number is received by you guys, you can just contact them by either of these means and you can book your appointment with them. And class 1 medicals is longer than class 2 and it is more stringent.
Yes, it probably takes an entire day. Yeah. So on that day probably you might want to rest well and go for your class 1 medical.
Yes.
And dedicated an entire day, because when I remember I did it in Mumbai, and I spent an entire good 10 hours at the hospital.
Absolutely.
Going through every test of them.
Yeah. So class 2 medicals won't take too much of your time, maybe about 2 to 3 hours max. But your class 1 medical will like, eat up your entire day.
Yes.
At times, if they find some discrepancy or some extra tests which are needed based on your body requirements,
Yeah.
they might ask you to do few additional tests which might creep into the next day as well.
Yeah, like I remember a friend of mine who is a little chubby and overweight. So every time when he goes for his medical renewals, he needs to go for that post-glucose sugar test. So in those kind of things, you need 12 hours of fasting. So you might be called on a second day, which is quite usual.
Yeah.
So nothing to be worried about that.
Yeah. So next question is, when can this process be started? Minimum age for attaining a class 2 medical is 16 years of age.
Yes, so probably after your 10th you can start up with this process. Like I remember I did my class 2 medicals when I was in my 12th grade. So I was too sure that okay, I want to go and pursue my career as a pilot. So that even gives you a little leeway, you are not in rush, you are not wasting time, you know you have an entire year to finish all this initial requirements. So yeah, you can start at the age of 16 as mentioned by Rohit.
And again, but for getting a commercial pilot license, your minimum age requirement is 18. So as soon as you turn 18, you can apply for your commercial pilot license. But for your medicals, 16 is when you can start off.
Yeah, you can do your training.
You can do your training even
but
before
for the issuance it is 18.
Yes.
So after your 12th, if you are out of the school at the age of 17, you can still start your training. But your license will be issued only when you are 18.
True. Class 1 medical validity. It's valid for 1 year. It has to be renewed every year on or before the date of its expiry. And class 1 renewal can happen with a private doctor.
Yes.
And also one of these FO stations, which are going to be linked in the description.
And one more point that at every age of 20, 25, 30, yes, those only needs to be done at the prescribed center.
The initial 5 medical centers, yes, we are talking about, the FO
like
station,
IMM Bangalore,
yeah,
or Guwahati,
IFCME Delhi. So only these medicals every 5 years, that is your 25th, 30th, 35, 40, 45,
yes,
every on a yearly or a very 5-year interval.
Yeah, this rule keeps changing. Like before this, the rule was every 4th medical. Right now, at the time of recording of this video, it is at every 20, 25, 30, 35, every 5th year it is there.
We've been asked a lot of questions from a lot of you guys saying, why do people fail the medicals?
On why it is so emphasizing you guys are emphasizing to do your medicals before starting your training and pouring in the money.
So there are many of these disorders, I wouldn't even call it disorders, many of these abnormalities in your body which might not affect your day-to-day lives, but as a pilot you might struggle with them.
Yeah, something the criteria like the medical criteria are different set by the DGCA.
Exactly. Something like color blindness, for a person who's living on a normal day-to-day life, it won't really affect him. Yeah. But something similar to heart murmurs.
Like I was reading through the entire medical process, so it even spoke that you would be checked on the entire movement of your ankle and all. So those criteria are slightly different than the criteria of being an healthy adult.
True.
So that's the reason why we are emphasizing that just being an healthy adult, still get your class 1 medical done before pouring in the money.
Absolutely, because flying is a very expensive field, as we've been always saying. So make sure you are completely clear in every other aspect before you put in the money into flying, because you're basically giving money for fuel. So and fuel is expensive. So aviation is very expensive for that reason. So we again are emphasizing, please get your class 2 and class 1 medicals before you get into your flying shoes.
Correct.
And another very important question regarding the basic requirements of education, which we've been asked about.
Yes, this is quite a common question that once the people come to know that okay, you require maths and physics or you require science. A lot of them who have done their BCom or taken commerce, and maybe at some later age they decide that okay, you know what, they want to pursue a pilot as a career. They have a question that how do I go about that?
Exactly. So again, the basic requirement is 10 plus 2 in math and physics. A lot of you guys might have been doing your commerce or economic stream and or even your BPC stream and want to change over to the commercial pilot training. For that there is definitely a way. Even we've got questions, people who've done their polytechnic and engineering as well. This is the same process which goes for you guys as well. So you need to still give your 10th and 12th math and physics exams and score 50% or above to be eligible for a pilot.
Yes.
So what after our research, we've come across this university called as
Indira Gandhi National Open University. So you can we'll put a link for in the description for the university. So you can go to that university. They do allow you to only take 10+2 for maths and physics as individual subjects, and you can clear them, get more than 50%. They'll issue a certificate. That certificate is acceptable in DGCA, and you can continue your process with that.
True. And in this particular university, they have over 50 centers all over India, so it becomes easy. You can just go through their website, contact them.
Yeah, or you can just physically go through one of the centers.
Absolutely.
50 is quite, and they're all across the pan India. So you can go to one of the centers and ask them about it and how to go through the detailed process of forms and all. But it is possible. If you study hard, maybe 3-4 months of time given to that, and you can clear it.
Definitely.
I know.
And trust us,
who have
this
done that.
field is definitely worth all the struggles which you put in initially.
Yes.
It is a very beautiful field. It is. There's no other field which can compare to this, according to us.
Yeah, of course, there are few cons to that, and it would require a dedicated video because a lot of misconception goes around about how the pilot life is there, what are the pay scales. So we'll try to make a video about the pros and cons of being a pilot also. But the next video in the series would be about...
The next video, again, we're thinking of planning to do about how to choose a flying school, where all the expenditure comes across in a flight school.
What are the criteria you need to think about that which flight school is appropriate for you?
Yeah, again, there are a lot of flight schools all over the world. And how to choose a flight school is very important because each flight school charges different amounts for the same aircraft. They have multiple aircraft, different versions of the same aircraft, what to fly.
And there are a lot of unique criteria also every flight school has to offer. So now which one you want to emphasize and how you would come about to a decision that okay, this is the right flight school for me, or maybe this flight school might work out for some other guy but not for me. So those all calculation needs to go in.
That again is a very personal decision, but we'll try and give you an insight on that in the next video.
Yeah, so we'll try and give an insight of the criteria on the weightage you need to give for a selection of the flight school. But at the end, it would be your personal decision of the selection of the flight school and where you would be pursuing your flying training.
So thank you guys. This is where we're going to end today's video.
So please like, subscribe, and we would like to hear you in the comment section with your feedbacks and your questions.
And also please do share as well, so that this reaches to as many people as possible, so that it will be helpful for somebody getting into this field. And looking forward for another video in the near future. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Good luck.